Hey guys, for today's video I wanted to talk about my recent project that I've been doing. So my graduation party is coming up and I thought it would be really cool to have a Giant Jenga set for all my little cousins to play with. And so I was looking online to buy one, and these things can be so pricey. They're $50 on websites like Amazon and Walmart, and I thought, you know what, maybe I can just do it myself. I looked into it, and all you need are 6 2x4s. I went to Home Depot and I got pine wood. You need some type of saw and at least 3 hours of your time. And guess what? It only cost $18 to make this. Cha-ching. Like, I'm so happy. And I'm so happy with the final product. So without further ado, let's get to it.
I started by measuring 10.5 inches from the edge of the board and made a little dashed line. I also made another check mark 1/8 of an inch past the 10.5 inch mark because I wanted to take into account the thickness of the blade I will be using to cut the pieces. I repeated this process for the whole length of the board and for all 6 boards. Since each board is 8 feet long, you only get 9 pieces out of the board. The last piece is only 10 inches, so make sure to mark which one is the junk piece for easier sorting. I used a Delta Mitre saw to cut the pieces of the wood. You could also use a hand saw and clamp down the edges, but I suggest to use a miter saw if you have one. I first cut the board in half for easier handling and then continued to line up the lines that I drew to fit the width of the blade.
So now that I have all 54 pieces finally cut out, the next step is to sand, because we do not want our edges to look like this, otherwise the kids are going to get some splinters. So let's get to it. So since I don't have one of those cool fancy stand-up sanders, I made my makeshift one. So here we have this clamp that's just tightened down to the table. And I have clamped in our hand sander, and so it looks like it's sitting in there well, so we'll see how this works.
Let's not forget about safety. I wore goggles and a face mask to keep dust out of my eyes and mouth, and then I wore one glove so that I was able to handle the rough wood, but also be able to feel if the smooth wood was smooth enough or not. Here I go. Starting to smooth the edges. I made sure that the edges on the corners were rounded enough that they didn't have any more roughness to them, and then I just made sure that all the other edges as well were sanded at least a little bit. There you can see how the edges have rounded, and I continue to do that with the other side. Here is a before shot of a piece of wood. You can see the imprinted labeling on it, and as well as the rough edges. And then after about 3 minutes of sanding or so, it will come to rounded edges, a nice smooth finish, and no more lettering or any type of marking on the wood.
Alright guys, I'm going to take a break for today because I am super tired, super hungry, and halfway done, so I'll finish the rest tomorrow. And I'm very dirty. I don't know if you can tell, but my leggings and shirt are just covered in sawdust. But I'm really happy about how they are turning out. You can see that the ones that have been done, the layer of like dirt and everything has come off, and so they're bright and shiny compared to the old ones. It kind of looks similar to this, but there's nothing on the sides. They're looking and sounding like Jenga pieces, which I don't know if you guys have ever played Giant Jenga. It's just, it's looking like it, and the boards are
very similar to size, so that's good.
Alright guys, so day 2. I have finally finished sanding all my box and it's time to play Jenga.
So once the fun is done, it's time to clean up, and the pieces can be fit anywhere that they can be housed. I found this box. Yes, the box is definitely not big enough for all the pieces, but it will have to do for now.
Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you did, and stay tuned for my next video. See you guys later. Bye.
And now, a message from my mom. Have you ever made a mess so big that you didn't know how you were going to clean it up? Or if you would even survive the cleanup process? Well, no need to go buy one of those fancy vacuum robots. Just locate your local household power cleaning tool and you're all set. It's a miracle how far a simple vacuum can go. Never forget to clean up after yourselves. Thank you.